In today's video, I'm going to show you how I record videos extremely fast and very efficiently by utilizing my nice DSLR camera, my computer, and actually recording directly into OBS to get the best of both worlds. High quality, but also immediate access to those recordings and not having to transfer stuff off of SD cards. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned because I'm going to talk all about it and this process that I've been working on for like the last 7 or 8 years. Before we dive into today's content, let's go ahead and pause for a moment to consider the value of making smart decisions. Speaking of which, we're thrilled to once again partner with Mint Mobile, the pioneers in transforming the wireless industry. They're dedicated to providing premium wireless service without that hefty price tag we've all come to dread. Ever find yourself puzzled by the sky-high cost of your wireless bill? Well, if so, Mint Mobile is on a mission to demonstrate that there's a smarter way to do things. For a limited time, new customers can enjoy any 3-month plan for just $15 a month. That's correct. You were hearing that correctly. 50% off their unlimited plan. Imagine accessing the nation's largest 5G network, enjoying unlimited talk and text, and all the benefits of a high-tier wireless experience at half the cost. The transition to Mint Mobile is a breeze thanks to their eSIM technology. Many of you can seamlessly switch over from the comfort of your home in as little as 15 minutes. And for those of you that prefer a physical SIM card, Mint Mobile's got you covered there with a free SIM sent directly to your doorstep. Let go of the old, overpriced, and convoluted ways of wireless. Head over to trymintmobile.com/howtotech to snag this incredible offer and get premium wireless for just $15 a month. My wife and I jumped on the Mint Mobile bandwagon over a year ago, and we've been fans ever since. Who can resist the allure of significant savings? What's going on, guys? Chad here, and today we're going to be talking about how I've essentially created my workflow of how I record videos extremely fast and try to save time whenever it comes to the editing process. And we'll talk more on the editing process if that's something you guys are interested in a future video. And if you guys also want the best recording settings for OBS, I'm going to go ahead and have that linked as well. Something that we kind of talked about in a video or two ago essentially was how easy it is to adjust a few settings and get very, very good quality out of your equipment, especially if you're using like a DSLR camera like I am, and you want to be able to have good quality from your recordings inside of OBS. So let's go ahead and jump over to the computer and let's talk about the process of what we've got going on here, because this is not that complicated at all, and I just kind of want to walk through it and how I've got everything set up. So my goal is I do not want to have to take, let's grab a tool here. I don't want to have to take this little thing here. We're gonna act like this is an SD card, and I don't even remember where to adjust the color. So yeah, here. We've got an SD card, right? You would normally pop that into your camera, you would record your audio maybe on your computer. Back in the day, that's what almost everybody did. They would record with their camera or a webcam. They would have Audacity or something set up with a microphone at their computer plugged in. And then you would take this, plug this into the computer, copy the files over. SD cards are extremely slow, even still to this day, for copying large files over. I'm recording in 4K, and that tends to be very time consuming and annoying. So you'd copy that over, and then you would go into your video editing program and you would try to sync that up, and then you would start editing. And there would just be a bunch of problems and issues with this because something could get out of sync, these files could get corrupted, maybe you copy these files over, maybe you take multiple takes whenever you're recording and you accidentally delete the wrong take. Now you can't get that file back. So what I've basically been working on, and I've been doing this for quite a few years as far as recording this way, but I've basically taken the SD card out of the equation entirely, and my main reasoning for that is because, well, I wanted to be more efficient. And what I've basically have turned to is a solution that makes audio and video very seamlessly into OBS with good recording quality, which means I can just take this straight out of OBS, out of the recording, and just drop it into my video editing program if I need to make some adjustments to that video file. So essentially what we're doing is we're running out of a DSLR camera and we're going into, I think that's supposed to be an arrow. Let's try that again. Yeah, let's try that again. There's an arrow. That's a very small arrow. But essentially, we're running out of our DSLR camera, and we're going straight into this thing called a cam link. And the way this works is we go out of this HDMI port, and we go into this HDMI port, And now we have a way of converting that video signal into an input in our computer. So then we'll take another arrow here and we'll go to this USB and we'll plug this into our computer. Now our camera is tied into the computer, and that's just one extra step. So no SD card is now needed to go ahead and get everything over there. One of the issues that I also dealt with is, audio syncing, and we'll talk about that in just a second. And you've got multiple options and avenues for that. You could, pipe in a shotgun microphone on top of the camera. That works out well. But what if you're moving around? What if you're not sitting in the same area? Or what if you're not always looking directly at that microphone? Well, the audio quality might kind of bounce around of you being really loud and then you being really quiet. And you don't want that in your recordings, or at least I didn't. So another way to streamline that, we'll talk about that in a second, is kind of moving over to this Rode Wireless Me option, which is pretty neat. We'll talk about that in a second. But essentially, let's move that back. And yeah, so essentially what we're going to do is we're going to pipe all of our video signal directly into our computer, and then now we've got our camera feed going from our computer to OBS. So essentially we've taken this and we piped it directly into OBS. That way we don't have to deal with SD cards and straight into our video editing program. That's pretty convenient and makes this a lot quicker. Also, what I've decided to do is you've got a receiver and a transmitter. They're kind of on the wrong side, but we're just going to act like those are set up the way they are, a little bit differently. Essentially what I've done is the receiver is plugged directly in to a USB port in this computer. And now this wireless microphone now shows up as an audio input, right? Which is really convenient. And then this right here, this fella right here, is actually plugged into, me. It's clipped right on my shirt, and it's picking up my audio. So we'll just go ahead and do this right here, and we'll type out Chad. So here's Chad. And let's go ahead and throw this font size up, make it bigger. Let's make it bold and change that color. So there we go. So I'm sitting over here and I'm getting the microphone and I'm transmitting it to this receiver. So this audio is going from here to here, from me to this device that's plugged into my computer. And then now my audio is going from there, from my computer, into OBS. So essentially what we're doing is we're taking all this audio from me, going straight into OBS, and we're piping the camera straight into OBS. And the beneficial thing and the very cool thing about something like OBS, well, it can also grab your monitors. So we can also feed in gameplay, we can feed in, that literally is the exact same color, but let's act like that's a monitor. There you go, there's a monitor. We can feed in our video games, we can feed in just our monitor capture, we can also feed in our audio and our camera straight into OBS. And I will tell you, this has saved me a ton of time because now all of this stuff is basically set up. The only thing I've got to do is turn this on, turn this on, and then open OBS and click record, and everything is in sync. Everything is recording in good quality, and then whenever I want to go out to my video editing program, DaVinci Resolve, it's basically one file from File Explorer that just gets dragged and dropped into my video editing program, and then I start working. If you guys have any questions about how this is set up or anything, related to the equipment, let me know in the comment section down below. This is for some people that have been doing this for a long time, this just kind of makes sense. Like, people have been using cam links and stuff, and I have as well, for multiple years. And people have been using wireless technology or just microphones directly piped in for many years as well. It's just the concept of doing all this to some people might be a little foreign whenever they've been recording their audio separately or their camera separately, or they just didn't know that they can get really good DSLR video quality in OBS and really good audio quality directly in OBS. So whenever you go to throw something in your video editing program, it's just like that. Get going and start editing. So this has saved me a ton of time. I hope if any of you are curious, you'll ask questions and I can be able to answer those for you. I'll have all these products that I personally use linked in the description down below. And also, yeah, the video as well talking about how to get really good recordings out of OBS so this DSLR camera looks DSLR quality and doesn't look like just an okay webcam that's piped in as well. So yeah, guys, that's going to be all for this video. If you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. Hit that like button, get subscribed, and check out any of my other videos. I'll throw a few on screen that could be relevant to you if you plan on recording inside of OBS or with a DSLR camera and just want to make your setup a little bit more efficient. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Chad from How To Tech, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.